So have you ever started a new job? You sit down at your desk, you look over at your boss, and you just think, wait a second, I actually know how to do this way better than you do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's an incredibly common dynamic, isn't it?
It's so frustrating. You come in with all this energy, all these sharp skills, and suddenly you realize the person steering the ship might not actually, well, know how to read the compass.
Right. And when you have that high competence but low authority, the friction is almost inevitable.
Yeah, but according to this radical lecture we're looking at today, if you're sitting there quietly judging your boss, you're fundamentally misunderstanding what a boss actually is. So welcome to the deep dives.
Thank you. And, what we're digging into today takes that standard human resources complaint and really just flips it into this deeply profound framework about how we view our own talents.
Exactly. And to anchor all this, we're looking at a specific source. It's a fascinating transcript from a lecture and Q&A session that was held in Anyang back in September 2025.
Yes, and the context of the questioner is really important here.
Right, so the person asking the question is a 58-year-old. They actually mentioned they were born in 1967, which is the year of the sheep. And they work in education and the dormitory business.
And just from hearing their setup, you immediately get the sense that they are highly, highly competent.
Oh, totally. They consider themselves lucky. They talk about having parents who prayed for them, having lots of natural talents. And they specifically note that whenever they learn something new, they always master the absolute basics perfectly.
Which, I mean, on paper, sounds like the absolute dream employee. They're grounded, they're gifted, and they have this bulletproof foundation in their field.
But that exact solid foundation is what's driving them absolutely crazy. Because they learn to do things so properly, it just physically pains them to watch others do things poorly.
Right. It's a very common trap for perfectionists.
Yeah, and right now they're in a new role and they're watching their new leader, their boss, make these glaring mistakes. So the questioner is caught in this dilemma. They want to be helpful.
Naturally. They see a problem, they want to fix it.
Exactly. They want to know, should they stay quiet or should they offer direct criticism? They actually call it straight talk. Should they step up and correct the boss for the good of the company? Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is how the speaker immediately dismantles the questioner's entire premise.
Wait, really? They just shut it down.
Completely. The speaker argues that if you can clearly see this person's flaws and you genuinely possess superior skills, then that person is not actually your leader.
Okay, wait, I have to push back on that. How are they not the leader? I mean, they hold the title, they sign the paychecks, they have the corner office.
Right. By standard corporate metrics, sure.
Yeah. By every metric, that person is the boss. It feels a bit like saying the sky's in blue just because you don't like the weather today.
It definitely sounds counterintuitive, but there's this crucial distinction being made here between intellectual leadership and economic ownership.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
Well, think about it. If you're so smart and they are so flawed, it raises the obvious question. Why are you the one sitting in the subordinate's chair?
Oh, wow. That's a direct hit.
Right. The answer in the text is that the only reason you are working under this person is that they possess the economic and social foundation.
So they built the business.
Exactly. They, or someone before them, built the business. They established the position you're currently filling. You are there because you lack that specific economic capital, not because they're intellectually superior to you.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's like think about when you're a kid and you go over to your friend's house to play a video game.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Right, so you might be the vastly superior player. You know all the combos, you hold the high score, you're just running circles around your friend in the game. But at the end of the day, it's your friend's console.
Yes, it's their television, their living room.
Exactly. You're only able to showcase your superior gaming skills because they provided the hardware.
That is a perfect analogy. You are there because you lack the hardware. You don't have your own console. You aren't there because your friend is a better gamer.
Right.
So if you're looking down on the boss, tallying up all their shortcomings, well, they can't truly be your leader in a developmental sense. You are simply operating within the economic environment that they created.
Which totally rewires why you're even showing up to the office every day. I mean, if they aren't my intellectual leader, what am I doing there?
You're studying. That's the paradigm shift here. You aren't just there to work, and you certainly aren't there to judge.
Treading the boss.
Studying the whole situation. You should be looking at this flawed boss and asking yourself, how did this imperfect person manage to get into the owner's seat? What can I learn from this environment?
That's fascinating. So instead of, sitting at your desk fuming that the boss doesn't know how to format a spreadsheet. You treat them like a living case study.
Exactly. It's an observational role.
But let's talk about the reality of Monday morning. Because the natural instinct, especially for someone who is highly competent, is to jump in and fix things. I mean, we're taught all these corporate buzzwords like radical candor and bringing your whole self to work.
Right. The modern workplace playbook.
Yeah, so why is stepping in to help a bad idea? Are they saying radical candor is just a myth?
When it comes into contact with the human ego, yes, it often is a myth. The speaker issues a really stark warning here. If you step in and directly correct the owner, you cross a very dangerous line.
Even if I'm just trying to be genuinely helpful.
Even then, even if the boss smiles, nods, and seems to accept your good advice in the moment, their pride is deeply wounded.
Because I bruised their ego. I basically embarrassed them by pointing out they don't know what they're doing.
Precisely. You've positioned yourself as a rival, and the text says they will mentally file you away as a threat. And the moment the company's situation stabilizes, you will be the #1 target to be eliminated.
Wow. Target number one. Because my mere presence is a constant reminder of their inadequacy.
You become a walking threat to their authority.
Okay, so what does this all mean for me? Do we just let the ship sink? Like if I see my boss about to approve a marketing campaign that completely misreads our demographic, do I just sit back and watch the budget burn?
No, you don't let the company burn. The strategy provided in the text for this exact scenario is actually very precise.
Okay, I need the playbook here.
First, your baseline has to be a fundamental sense of gratitude for the economic environment the boss provided. Remember, without their console, you wouldn't be playing the game.
Right, I have to acknowledge the hardware.
Exactly. Then, when you see a flaw, you don't judge right from wrong. You don't criticize. Instead, you offer a consultation or an opinion.
A consultation, so it's a phrasing thing.
It's phrasing and positioning. It's the difference between saying, hey, this campaign is wrong, we need to fix it, versus, I've been looking over the demographics and I noticed a potential bottleneck. What are your thoughts on this alternative?
Oh, I see. You're offering an opinion for them to consider, not a mandate that they have to follow. But I imagine there's a specific venue for this, right? I can't just drop that in the middle of a Tuesday all-hands meeting.
Oh, absolutely not. That is the golden rule of consultation, according to the lecture. It must never be done in front of others.
Private only.
Strictly private. It must be done when you are entirely alone with them to protect the owner's pride. You ensure they never look diminished in front of the rest of the staff.
That makes total sense psychologically. You save their face. But then what happens when that private meeting is over and we walk back out into the open office?
In public, you must flawlessly support them as the subordinate. You stand behind their final decision completely.
Even if they didn't take my advice.
Even then, because if you do this correctly, wise counsel in private, unwavering support in public, the boss will recognize your skills without feeling threatened. They'll begin to rely on you, allowing you to eventually unfold your full potential.
It's brilliant workplace psychology, honestly. But let's pivot a bit, because I know the philosophy goes a lot deeper than just surviving office politics.
It really does. It goes into the very nature of human capability.
Right. Because strategically, I get the private consultation thing. It protects my job. But frankly, it feels a little, unfair. If I'm doing all the heavy lifting mentally, why do I have to shrink my ego to coddle theirs? I earned my intelligence.
Well, did you? That's the real question here.
Hey, what do you mean?
This is where we transition to the underlying philosophy. Think back to the 58-year-old questioner. They were kind of bragging, right?
Yeah, they definitely were. They talked about having people luck, natural talents, and the blessings from their parents' prayers.
Right. They viewed their high competence as a lucky gift or their own personal possession. And this is the misconception.
Which is how most people view it. We think of talent like winning a genetic lottery. I'm just naturally good at math or whatever.
But the speaker delivers a heavy counter-argument. These talents, that solid foundation, the good environments you were placed in, they are not free gifts. They are explicitly defined as a debt.
A debt.
Yes. In Korean, the term used is debt.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me, because viewing talent as a debt changes the entire expectation of how you live your life. If it's a debt, it means I owe somebody. But who do I owe?
You owe society, because society and your ancestors invested in you.
So it's not just like mystical energy.
No, it's highly practical too. You grew up in a stable economy that allowed you to focus on learning the basics. There was public infrastructure, teachers who stayed late to help you, generations before you who built the industry.
Wow, so I'm basically the result of a massive societal group project.
Exactly. So because society invested all this into you, you carry a debt. Your intelligence isn't a weapon to look down on your boss. It's a tool you're supposed to use to uplift the environment.
Okay, so if I just sit at my desk, quietly judging my boss, complaining about incompetence, I'm basically hoarding society's investment. I'm defaulting on my loan.
You are. You're failing to repay the debt because you aren't doing the high-quality, shining work that actually helps people.
Okay, let's play this out. Let's say I swallow my pride, use my talents, I humbly consult with my boss in private, the project succeeds, the company flourishes, I'm doing good work. When we do these good deeds, the lecture mentions we earn a type of merit, right?
Yes. The concept is gangdeok. It translates roughly to merit or virtuous karma. When you do good work with your talents, you earn the spiritual wealth.
And human nature being what it is, I'm going to want to show off that wealth. I want to say, look at the merit I earned. I saved the marketing budget. Look at me. We want to keep the credit.
We do. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, keeping that merit for yourself turns into greed.
Greed. Even if I earned it by doing good.
Yes, because for humans, this merit is spiritual wealth, and holding on to it becomes a burden or a sin. It goes against the core concept of musoyo, which means non-possession.
Non-possession.
Yeah.
The idea that we own nothing, not even the credit for our good deeds. But how do we actually give away credit in the real world? Do I just CC my whole team on an email and say, team effort?
I mean, that's good corporate etiquette, but the spiritual mechanism here is called hohyang, which means returning or redirecting merit.
Redirecting it how? Like mentally.
Yes, entirely mentally. You must internally hand over your accumulated credit to higher powers. Whether you conceptualize that as God, Buddha, saints, or gurus, you offer it to them and ask them to distribute your merit.
And where's it supposed to go? Who gets the merit?
You ask that it be distributed to the marginalized, to your coworkers who struggled alongside you, to your boss who provided the hardware, and even to your ancestors.
I'm trying to picture the psychological reality of this. If I do the hard work, fix the problem, and then immediately in my own mind just hand the credit away, don't I just end up feeling empty?
You do become empty, but in the best possible way. By emptying yourself of the credit, the merit is actually stored safely in heaven. And more importantly, for your daily life, you become lightweight.
Lightweight. I really love that. The relief of not having to lug around a massive ego all day.
Exactly. When you aren't bogged down maintaining a public ego, obsessing over who gets the recognition, you free up so much mental bandwidth. Ironically, by remaining empty, you allow even more wisdom to flow into you.
It's like doing something kind anonymously. It just feels so much lighter than stressing over how many likes the video of your good deed gets online.
That's a great comparison.
And I imagine this isn't just a one-time thing. The lecture talks about the specific timelines for this, right?
Yes, it varies based on an individual's spiritual capacity. Some practitioners redirect their merit every single day. They do good, and before they sleep, they mentally let go of it.
Just clearing the cache daily to stay balanced.
Right. Others might have the capacity to hold it for a month or maybe 100 days. But there's a really profound point made about the truly great masters.
The ones with immense capacity, what do they do?
The great masters don't empty their pockets every day. They utilize that accumulated energy to help massive amounts of people, and they wait until the very end of their lives to redirect a lifetime's worth of accumulated merit to the world.
Wow. That is a staggering level of discipline.
Yeah.
To live a life of incredible achievement and then wait until your dying breath to give away the credit for all of it.
It really puts our little office squabbles about recognition into perspective, doesn't it?
It totally does. It brings this whole journey full circle. I mean, we started today with a frustrated 58-year-old employee wanting to correct a flawed boss.
And we ended up discovering that our talents are a societal debt.
Exactly. We learned that the boss is just the owner of the economic hardware, and that true wisdom requires giving away the credit for our successes so we can remain empty, light, and open to greater insights.
It's a complete paradigm shift for your career.
It really is. So we want to leave you with a final provocative thought to ponder this week. The next time you use your superior skills to solve a major problem at work, or even just help out a friend, what would happen if you actively, mentally gave away all the credit for that good deed before anyone even had the chance to thank you?
Just handing it away instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much lighter would you feel walking into the office the next day? It's a powerful experiment.
absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep learning, keep questioning the information around you, and we'll catch you next time.